Come all young sailormen, listen to me. I'll sing you a song of the fish in the sea. Blow, ye winds, westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the southward, so steady she goes.
Got another a person coming up here. I'm happy to introduce, met her this evening, all the way from here, from Homer, Megan Gervais. And as I said, makes her home in Homer in the winter. In summer, she skippers Bristol Bay drift boat fishermen. Let's welcome Megan. Got lots of mics. Get that stand here.
All right. Thank you for the warm introduction. Megan Gervais. I'm a greenhorn here at the Fisher Poets. I read last night, but I was thinking today about my first year running my boat, and before I went fishing for the first time for months, I just worried about the first time, not that I would make a set, but the first time I would tie up at a tender. I just was terrified, because I'd never had before. I had just been a deckhand before, and the person I had fished with never let me drive the boat except, like out in the open. So I knew I was gonna like crunch. I call it munch crunch, where like the sound of fiberglass on metal is a really sad sound. Anyway, so that's what I worried about before my first year fishing, and that first tender tie-up actually worked out okay, and there were subsequent munch crunches that happened, but not on that first one. And last night I read the things, and it all worked out okay. There wasn't a munch crunch, but I'm just inspired to be here around all of these amazing poets and musicians, and hopefully some of it will rub off on me. All right. This is a poem about all the things that get broken on boats and that we have to fix. Backlash on opening set. The sickening ripping of web made a whale-size hole in the net. We can fix it. Stretch it over the back deck. Corks hooked over the port cleat. Lead line looped over the fair lead. Trim the flap. Koozie it up. Won't be perfect, just good enough. It'll fish. Often the fix is easy, just a loose electrical connection or fuel. Change the racor and the engine roars back to life. For the leaky hydraulic hose, we have a spare. Look under the port side bunk. For the toughest bolt to break free, try 2 drops of penetrating oil and a cheater bar on the biggest wrench. Mallet coercion, and put the heat to it. Work smarter, not harder. Add a few choice words and some blood from your knuckles. For non-moving parts, don't underestimate the value of marine adhesive, well chosen and carefully applied to make it as good as new. No, it's better than new. It's custom, and it'll fish. It is perhaps 10 times more work to fix anything on anchor than in the yard, and 50 times harder to fix it when it's blowing west 25 and the bilge 8 your 3/8 wrench, and you're days away from parts, and you haven't slept more than 2 and 24 in who knows how long. But some repairs cannot be anticipated. The components concealed within their dark steel housings, and even if we ply them with the proper lubricant at regular intervals, they occasionally give up at inconvenient moments. Like the shorn spline shaft on the hydraulic pump that quit mid-set during the peak of the run while we were drifting toward the breakers with a heavy net. That was an expensive one, not just in parts but missed fishing. Some fixes require 8 hours on the phone, standing in the rigging, troubleshooting, and ordering parts while in sideways rain the signal keeps dropping. Sorry deckhands scan the tender lines to to see what we aren't delivering. The next plane is when? Some things are beyond repair. Electronics eaten by salt water, that black pipe fitting on the bronze washdown pump just crumbled in my hand. That did teach a lesson about galvanic corrosion and dissimilar metals. Combinations destined for dysfunction. Won't repeat that mistake. I am held together by splash zone, zip ties, black tape, hose clamps, the spare scrap of busted buoy, and hanging twine hitched back upon itself over and over again for strength. And a bit of 4200 thrown in for good measure. Not the prettiest fix, but functional. Every repair tells the story of itself. A knot correctly tied can fix many things, and can, for a time, even hold together the broken parts of broken hearts. The better fix takes a little more doing. Untie the lines and point the boat to sea. Apply wind, sky, and northern latitudes. Withhold sleep and top off the hydraulic and fuel tanks. Then bring on the salmon. Won't ever be like new, but it'll fish. So I have another kind of serious one, but I don't want to fool you that I'm like a serious person, because I'm not totally serious. So I'm going to just kind of switch gears, and I'm going to read this poem that my child wrote when they were 9. Rubus is now 11, and I asked their permission to read this. We collaborated on it a little bit, but mostly it was written by my kid. Kind of the cadence comes from a children's book that we read a lot. But I'm lucky enough to have my kids fish with me, and the biggest pleasure and challenge of my life is how to mix the two worlds of being a mother and being a fisherman. And I was lucky enough on this trip to have my son come meet me here. He lives in Bellingham. He's grown and tall and a man. And he drove all the way here to meet me. And so that was lovely. He stayed for my set last night, but I think he disappeared, so I can talk about him a little more now without him blushing too much. But anyway, Rubus is my 11-year-old, and they wrote this. It's called Boat Kids. Out on deck, every set, they're ready. Head on, gloves on, boots on, working steady. Picking fish, getting splashed, and it's blowing west 20. They don't care 'cause they want their money. Hold the flashlight, run for tools, run the hydros sometimes. Tie it up, let it go. Yee-haw, grab the line. Watch a 9-year-old outwork grown men. They'll show you how it's done and be in bed by 10. One kid on corks, one kid on leads. They make it look easy, 'cause it is, they said. Sriracha on their carrots, Legos out, work done. Swimming every day at sunset in the sun. Okay. I need to get set up for this. Move it closer, yeah, maybe. I just need it. Now I'm gonna be high maintenance. Like, is that what happens when you're a musician? You just get to be high maintenance, you gotta move everything around.
Tiny instrument. You can do that.
Well, the thing about ukulele is that it's a great boat instrument. I just started playing 3 or 4 years ago because this is the perfect size instrument to fit on a boat. And I started out playing like 2-chord songs, and it drove my deckhands crazy, but it was really just kind of soothing before openers to have like music right here, like an instrument, like it's right here by your heart, and it makes you feel more calm. Like sometimes in Bristol Bay, right before we're making the opening set, and there's boats everywhere, and you've got to find your spot, and it's tense. You're like trying to stay right on top of the fish, and I would play this song. All day long. And then I got the words. Alabama chicken, show me the way. Alabama chicken got something to say. Look you in the eye, bird don't lie. Alabama chicken, voodoo, voodoo. Okay, and then I was like, okay, I've got a song, but I need to make it into a Bristol Bay song. So I modified the words a little bit, and we changed it to Nushagak Sakai, show me the way. Nushagak Sakai got something to say. Look you in the eye, fish don't lie. Nushagak Sakai, voodoo, 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 voodoo. Fish old friend, fish I'd say. You're the best fish that ever laid an egg. Sometimes one, sometimes two, sometimes enough for the whole crew. Okay, you get the idea. And I could go round and round with that. And I would, just to see if I could get my son to roll his eyes, but he's not here, so I won't do that. I'll just go into the song that I wrote. This is the first song that I wrote. I've mostly just played other people's songs, but then coming here, I thought I would give it a try. And this is called Set the Net. So a little background on this song. I wrote a couple of lines to it a couple of years ago, and then this little piece of paper turned up in one of the 12 different journals that I have. And it was just like these lines to this country song. And this winter has kind of been like a country song to me because my mom died, and my Subaru died, and my computer died, and like lots of trouble. And I was like, man, my life is kind of like a country song. So I figured I'd better just write one. It's not quite a country song, but it is about when everything is going wrong on the boat. And then you just go fishing anyway. Right. So just bear with my, it's a hard act to follow, like all these professional musicians, I'm a greenhorn, so just, yeah, you got this, okay. All my gloves, coffee's run out, alternator just caught fire, I'm starting to have some doubts. Vicky's all our dough, crew just says they're tired. But oh well, let's set the net. There are fish out there that we haven't caught yet. The tide is right, we'll fish tonight. We'll load the boat with no one else in sight. Made a set on the sandbar, seemed like a good thing to do. But the seals came and ate them all, 'cause they got to eat too. We set one on the line, fish were coming in from the west. But a jet boat came and corked me off, 'cause that's what they do best. But oh well, let's set the net. There are fish out there that we haven't caught yet. The tide is right, let's fish tonight. We'll load the boat with no one else in sight. Been fishing for a month now to pay someone else's debts. Only he don't know he's my ex-husband yet. Cannery posted a price, not even a buck, you could say. What the fuck? Oh, can I say that here? No public radio in this venue? Okay, what the hell? Let's set the has scurvy. They're looking at me with mutinous eyes. But oh well, let's set the net. There are fish out there that we haven't caught yet. The tide is right. Let's fish tonight. We'll load the boat, but no one else in sight. Thanks, everybody. Thanks so much. What a warm welcome. I appreciate it.
That was kick-ass. Thank you, Megan. Woo. All right, we're going to take a 5-10 minute quick get up, get down. We're going to get back at it.
Now blow the gentle wind o'er the dark blue sea.